Hey, Mikayla, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I am a dancer and also a social media content creator, influencer, and I've been doing social media for over probably 12 years now. But I've been dancing pretty much my whole life, but I'm a dance teacher with Luminous Dance here in Vancouver.
And before you started here at Everyday Athletes, what were the challenges that you were facing?
Last year, I actually got at the top of this year, I got pretty badly injured during a show, and I had never dealt with an injury that long before. And so when I started at Everyday Athletes, I was really excited to mend that injury and see if I could, work on it to dance again. And essentially, another challenge I faced was the fact that most of my time doing physical activity was spent on dance, and I wasn't doing any or as much cross training as I had wanted to do. And I knew that lifting weights and learning how to strength train was something that would be really beneficial to my dance, but it also was just something I had put off for a very long time. And it was just a very unknown world for me. I didn't really know anything going into it.
Right. And do you feel like that was something that you knew you needed to do or wanted to do, but you were just kind of afraid to take the step? Or was it something that you weren't sure if you should do it or not?
Yeah, for sure. I had worked with a naturopath kind of the year before, and she was the one that suggested it. And obviously with everything online on TikTok, all of these like slow, low impact workouts were going to be beneficial to women and their cycles and everything. And so having an option that was a little bit more impactful but slower pace was definitely on the horizon for me. I just didn't know how to do it. And I'm not really one to just like walk into a gym and just like try my best. It was never going to happen. So
So let's say your main goal to start was more injury rehab?
Definitely more injury rehab, given the time and place I was at. Like, it was just like, I guess, divine timing that I showed up and I was like, hey, I'd love to learn how to do this, but also we have to deal with this. And you really had to do that too. So we kind of just like worked on it together to make that happen. Yeah.
And you feel now you're beyond the rehab stage and into more of the strength phase, and you're more working out?
100%. Yes. I have been pain-free of that injury for probably a month and a half now with training.
Amazing.
I did take some time this summer, and that really, really helped. I wasn't pushing too hard, but Tyler's been really happy with the progress. And also he says that my strength has really kept up, even if like my dance cardio has kind of like ebbed and flowed a little bit. My strength has stayed and gotten better, which is like really, really important. And I feel like I've learned so much more about how to prevent this injury from happening again, while also working with my physio and Tyler. They kind of like work together to make a plan for me as well, which has been really, really great. And I'm so happy. Like, I was waking up in pain every single day. And when you get about 2 weeks after that and you're like, wow, I haven't been in pain in so long. I took it so for granted growing up, and I will not now.
Yeah, you almost forget how good you can feel.
For sure. Yeah.
So you're a dancer and you wanted to do gym work, let's say, to improve your dancing. So how hard was it for you to have to take a step back from the dancing in order to improve in the long run?
Yeah, I knew I wanted to cross train, but I wasn't quite sure what that looked like. But once talking to my naturopath and other people in my life and online, I knew that lifting weights would be the way to go and give me the results I wanted.
Yeah. Has your goal evolved or changed since you started until now?
I think my goal when I first came in, because I was so injured, was feel better. Help my injury, please. But now that we've seen progress and I'm lifting higher weights and different things like that, like I feel like my goals have always just been for the mental ability of learning how to lift weights and different things. And just the goal was essentially to get in the door and try. And I did that. So that's exciting. So now my goals are like, to improve the fitness, like, slim down things and just like work on things I didn't existed prior, I guess.
So how would you say, if anything, it's changed or affected your personal life outside the gym? Yeah,
I feel like I have a new sense of confidence when sounds so silly, but when I'm like doing regular everyday things, I'm like, I lift weights now. I can do this. I'm not afraid of throwing out my back also, because that has happened multiple times when I've been like doing other jobs and projects and stuff. I've literally thrown out my back from lifting a box, and I need not do that. I am not even 30 years old. So being able to like do that confidently and just like have that like back brain of like the strength and all that of like what I've been working for. And I've definitely like physically noticed a difference. Like I'll come home from a session and I'll tell my wife and I'm like, look how my arm length, this is so cool. This has never happened before to me. So like that part is definitely, and yeah, it just gives me a really good sense of like, I feel amazing every single time I leave, like without a doubt. Even if I'm like, oh, you have to go to training. It's never been like, it's I don't know. It's a great part.
You never regret a session?
No, never. No, I always leave feeling so great. So. And
before you came to this gym, had you been working out in gym before? What was your general experience with gym style training?
Yeah, my experience with gym training was god awful, like so terrible. So probably, I think before COVID, I was like, you know, one of the people going to a community gym. I'm like, I can do it. Like I'm a machine person. So I one day was on the Stairmaster and I completely like fell off. Like I went all the way back. I don't know what happened, but I was on the ground. And it was the most embarrassing thing to ever happen to me. It was at that moment, I'm like, I'm going to never do this again. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And so I never stood foot back into a gym again after that. And I've had good experiences in like class settings and different things, but they don't really offer what you guys offer here. And a lot of the equipment in Everyday Athletes is not machines. It's like so self-directed and like customizable that I felt safe.
And do you feel like now you have the confidence to step back in the gym and grab a barbell and do your thing?
So actually, I think like the past like 2 weeks, I've actually had that like spark of like, I think I could self-direct a workout similar to what Tyler does with me here. I think I've met elsewhere and I'm almost like at that point where I'm like craving it multiple times a week. So, and then he's like, we have like group classes. I'm like, that's a great idea actually. So,
What would you tell people, or what would you tell yourself, say 5 years ago, who was intimidated about strength training, how to get started?
I think with anything in life, you wish you started sooner. And that would 100% be this. Like, think about how much further I would be if I started this 5 years ago, and particularly started with a personal trainer. I think that like not just like going in the gym and lifting weights is like what I should have done 5 years ago. That's not the mental place I was in. But to have the confidence or even the courage and bravery to step and take a gym like this one with a personal trainer, I definitely should have done that a long time ago. I feel like I would have been a lot further ahead. But I'm obviously just glad that I did it now. So.
And that first step is usually the hardest to take.
100%.
You've taken it.
The biggest struggle is always just getting to the thing, going to the class, getting through the door. That's the hardest part. Once you get there, the hard part's over.
And anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I'm having a great time. Tyler's a great trainer. And no, genuinely, I feel like this has been such a great addition to my routine. If you are a dancer, I think that you should definitely look into cross training like this. This will improve your stability, your strength, your stamina, like everything tenfold. And it just makes dancing so much easier.
Well, we're glad to have you, and we look forward to seeing you here more often.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.